Welcome to Primary 5 Integrated Science, Lesson 12. We are still moving on with our topic, matter, heat, energy, under the theme matter and energy. So we are looking at changes in states of matter. Last time we looked at states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. However, these states can change from one state to another. So we are looking at changes in states of matter. And we are saying that changes in states of matter are as a result of heating or cooling, meaning that the matter can change from one state to another due to difference in temperature. Either when you are heating it or when you are cooling it, it can change from one state to another. Then there are examples of changes of states of matter. One, we have melting. Then we have evaporation, we have condensation, then sublimation, freezing, desublimation, or deposition. So these are the states that changes in states of matter. Now let's look at each change of state of matter in details. And we begin with the melting. When we talk about the melting, it's the process through which solids change to liquid on heating. Change of state through which solids change to liquid on heating. So when you heat a solid and it changes into liquid, it means it has melted. And here we are saying that when solids are heated, they change to liquids. E.g., when ice is heated, it melts to water. So when you get ice always a block in a solid form. When you heat this ice block or ice tube, the ice, after heating it, due to increase in temperature, this high temperature will make the ice tube to melt. When it melts, it forms now water or liquid. So this is in liquid state, this one is in solid state. So that process of converting or changing these ice tubes into water is what we call melting. Are you together, neighbors? Are we together, friends? So let's continue and see what about freezing. When we talk about freezing, freezing is the process through which liquids turn to solids. Process through which liquids turn to solids on cooling. Now here we have heat the solid into liquid. Now again we are converting this liquid to come back into solid. It's what we call freezing. So here we see our water cooling to 0 degrees temperature, and it freezes to form now ice tubes. So get your water, put it in a fridge or refrigerator for a long time. You come to find that the water has turned into an ice tube or into ice. So we say the water has frozen. So when water freezes, it changes into ice, which is now in solid state. This one only occurs when the water has cooled up to 0 degrees Celsius. So 0 degrees becomes the freezing point of water. Then we have another change called evaporation. Evaporation is the process through which liquids turn to gas on heating. When liquids change to gas on heating, all of us have ever seen boiling water. When you boil the water, you find that water vapor keep on evaporating from this water which is boiling. So here we have our heat, we are boiling this water, and we see it now changing into water vapor. So this water vapor, what we call steam, is in a gaseous state or gas form. Then the water in the saucepan is in a liquid form. As you heat, we see now water which is a liquid changing into gas. So that's what we call evaporation. So the water is evaporating. Are you together? So this is the vapor come as a result of evaporation. Then we have condensation. With the condensation, it's the process through which gases turn back to liquids or cooling. Are you together? Process through which gases turn back to liquids on cooling. So, when you're boiling your water and you get another saucepan you cover on top, after time when you're going to check whether it's boiling, you remove the saucepan or the plate covering on the other saucepan on fire. You find that there are some water droplets that are formed on the saucepan which is covering the what? The one which is having the boiling water. So that water which is on the other saucepan or plate which is covering on food is what we call condensed water and formed as a result of condensation. Are you together? Then we have sublimation. With sublimation is the process through which some substances change directly to gases. Instead of changing into liquid first, they just change directly to gas. That is sublimation. And what are some of the substances that can sublime? One is naphthalene. It is naphthalene. Naphthalene. That is the substance that can change directly to gas. It's a solid, but when you heat it, it can go into gas. Then we have iodine crystals. Iodine crystals. With iodine crystals, when you heat them, they also change directly into gas. However, those two substances, after changing into gas, they can come back into solid state. That gas on cooling can convert and change into solid state by the process what we are calling now called desublimation or deposition. We have another step called desublimation. Desublimation stroke deposition. So with desublimation, we see gas changing back into solid directly. So that's what we call desublimation. So the substances that can desublime or deposit are naphthalene and the iodine crystals. Now let us summarize here the changes, summary for the changes of states. In summary, here we can have solids, gas and liquids. Solids, gas and liquids. So those are our three states of matter. Then we have this change of state and this one. We have this, we have this, we have that, we have this. So we can have them A, B, C, D, E, F. So with the A, we are seeing the liquid is changing back to gas. So when the liquid changes back to gas, we say that is a condensation. This is evaporation. A is evaporation. Because the liquid is evaporating to form vapor. Then B, we are seeing gas going back to liquid. So that's condensation. Condensation. Then C is here, liquid into solids. When the liquid changes into solid, we say it is a freezing. Liquid changes into solids. Then D, with D we are seeing solids converting into liquids. So when the solids change into liquids, that is the melting. The solid melts. Then E, with E we see solid is going into gas direct, and we have talked about it as a sublimation. Sublimation. Then F, we see gases converting into solids direct. That is a desublimation. Desublimation stroke deposition. the position. So friends, this is the summary of what we have looked at today's topic, in today's lesson. In exam, the examiner can set a question like this, where they will give you unknowns here and they ask you to name this process. Or they can put here unknowns, then they give you this process and you'll be able to identify. So there are some questions attached on this lesson that you're supposed to answer as per the handout. Thank you for listening. I say, may God bless you abundantly.